I'm here at PBR preseason All-State with Dawson Coe, the 5th-ranked left-hander in Georgia in the class of 2022 out of Loganville. Dawson, I appreciate the time.
No problem. Yes, sir. I'm happy to be here.
So you were previously committed to Tennessee, opened things back up. What has the second round of recruiting been like for you?
I mean, it started off a little slow because, I mean, I didn't post anything. I didn't put anything out there. And I really wanted to contact the coaches that I felt were there for me before I'd committed and the ones that I had maintained a relationship with. But now it's more starting to pick it back up. It's starting to get a lot better. And, I mean, I'm just excited for it.
Do you have a timetable, like, you know, by this time I want to know for sure what's happening?
Me and my family have talked about it so many times. It's kind of like just at the end of spring. I mean, have a really big spring. I mean, that's the goal and that's the focus right now. And I don't really have a timetable, but whenever I think we're ready to make a decision, we'll be ready.
So you're up to 90 with the fastball. You get down into the low 70s with the curve.
Yes, sir.
What do you feel like your biggest strength is on the mound?
Biggest strength? I usually can get the ball past. I throw at a weird angle, and I usually don't get hit very often. Yes, sir.
What do you feel like maybe this past year has been the biggest growth for you? I mean, is it been something with the secondary pitches? Is there anything in particular that you feel like this is where I've seen the most improvement?
Biggest growth is definitely my changeup. And I had a guy that threw at Loganville, Seth Clark. He's at Georgia State now, and he had showed me a grip that really stuck with me. It was a 2-seam instead of a 4-seam, and it just helped me. I mean, it moves a lot better. It gets where it needs to be, and it's definitely my favorite pitch right now. Yes, sir.
So you mentioned a big spring being key for you and what happens next, but you know, when you think about this spring and getting ready for it, where do you the biggest point that you feel like this is where my focus is on getting improvement as a pitcher? My
focus was for sure on command, and it wasn't just control, it was command, knowing where I need to put the pitch, knowing what I need to do in a 1-2 count, just knowing like where I need to put this ball, just having a plan every time. That's what really was a focal point for this fall, and I feel like it's really helped.
Do you feel like you've gotten to the point as a pitcher, and I think you get to this point where you trust your stuff in a different way, and you can mess with eye level, you can mess with speeds. Do you feel like you're getting there?
Yes, sir. I feel like I'm progressing to that type of pitcher, and with the help of the Lord, I feel like I can get there. Yes, sir.
All right, well, I'm going to have you take us through your grip, so I'm going to duck out of the shot and turn things over to you. Sound good?
That sounds good. Well, I throw a standard 4-seam fastball, but I try to get a good amount of backspin on it, and that's what usually helps the spin rate and helps the ball climb. And I get this natural type of, I wouldn't say tilt, but type of release where it'll go that way and rise up a little bit, and it just comes from the standard 4-seam grip. And then my other pitch, my secondary, one of them, is my changeup. I put both fingers on the horseshoe right there, and then I'll make a circle with that, and then keep that that pinky back there. And then I have a curveball and a slider. One of them's more sharp shape slider. I like to hide that right there, put those right there, and I try to get a good kind of cut with the fingers. Make sure this middle finger really twists right there. And then on the curveball, it's more of a slower pitch. And I put my finger right there in between kind of the horseshoe, which is kind of odd. Not really many curveballs do that, and then I'll just flick it right there and then get the rotation that it needs.
Dawson, man, that was great. Thank you so much for doing that. Make sure everybody subscribes to Lake Point Sports on social media, on YouTube. That way you can see everything happening here on campus.
Yes, sir.